Hi, if I had known what I know now a long time ago, or maybe a few years ago, I would have actively pursued total growth. What do I mean by total growth? By feeding and nourishing not just our physical body, but our spiritual, as well as pursuing the development of our minds. Of course, we take care of our physical body by feeding when we are hungry, or more more appropriately put, by eating the appropriate diet, by wearing the appropriate clothes at the right time, by living in the shelter which is most conducive to us, maybe well ventilated, and then by pursuing those activities which keeps our body hale and hearty. We take care of our spirit being by having a an unquestionable faith in our Creator. How do we do that? By pursuing those activities which grow our faith, either by reading the Bible or the Quran, or listening to sermons by our spiritual leaders, or um ministering with other brethren in our vicinity or outside of our vicinity. And pursuing these activities can help us grow our faith. Then it comes to our mind. How do we pursue the how do we pursue the growth of our mind? To buttress this point, I would like to quote James Allen. He said, "A mind left uncultivated is a mind that is soon overrun with weeds." What do we mean by weeds? Maybe weeds of fear, weeds of distraction, weeds of wasting of our times, weeds of feeling like we have an endless time on earth. I know that one of the ways which we can cultivate our minds is by reading. Another way of cultivating our minds is by thinking the right thoughts at all times. I'm not saying that we don't get challenged by thinking bad thoughts, of course, but we should be able to discipline ourselves by forcing our minds, or rather helping instructing our minds to push out all those negative thoughts which tend to want to clog our reasoning every now and then. So thinking the right thoughts and then reading are the two basic ways, or the two sacred ways of pursuing development of our mind. And also thinking, when we read, we tend to think purer thoughts, and then it helps to open up our minds to higher vibrations. We can get more creative, we can add more value in whatever unit we might have found ourselves. For me, I have learned that pursuing a vigorous or total growth, as it is called, has some advantages which accrue to any man who actively pursues his physical, his spiritual, and also the development of his mind. First of all, one of the advantages that can come to such a man or such a person is that he becomes more entrenched in those values or principles or standard which he holds dear, because he acts not just based on tradition or customs which have been handed over to him, but he sits down to think and analyze them. So whenever he thinks, whenever he utters any word, or whenever he acts based on his personal convictions. So that is maintaining his individuality. That is one. Another which comes to mind is that I've noticed that people who pursue growth, total growth in this sense, they tend to aspire to greater greater aspirations. They by reading a lot of our religious books are imbued with stories of people who, overcome seemingly insurmountable challenges, and this helps to buttress our goal and fuels our ambition to, pursue our dreams to a nice conclusion. Another advantage I can think of is that people who pursue growth are more sensitive to not just their environment but also to the people in their own environment. They tend to hold themselves to a higher standard, and there's a poem that says mind is a standard. Yes, mind is the standard. And so when you continue to refine your mind, you will see that you evolve daily. You become a better and a better and better edition of yourself. And finally, the advantage which comes to mind about growth is that when you pursue total growth, you think more refined. You tend to analyze a lot of things. You don't just accept hand-me-downs, customs, or traditions. You tend to want to stick to your conviction. Your sense of courage increases. Your singleness of mind and pursuit of whatever you are doing also increases. And so I hope that these few points will help you, pursue those ideals. These few points will help pursue the ideals which we all look forward to. Thank you.